Background is wild.
It's
the two images laid over each other with the negative multiplier, whatever it's called.
Yeah, like the negative layer effect. It's one of those. It's definitely a weird layer effect.
Because there's two horizons.
Very
there's a horizon
weird.
near the top and a horizon near the bottom.
Yeah. Really weird looking.
Yeah.
It's like it gives you like a collage feeling too.
Yeah. Might be more than 2 layers. Because I'm not sure.
I think it's like a couple. I think
There's a layer with clouds in the sky.
Yeah.
There's a layer with the tower on the right. But I feel like the tower on the right and the wall in the middle can't be the same image, but neither of them fit the distant background that is the middle golden layer than the back.
Yeah.
So it might be 3 or 4 images. Wild looking.
Yeah.
And that's what the
it's also
afterlife
hard to say because there's a lot of transparency effects thrown on top of this too.
That's what the afterlife
like
looks
the clouds.
like.
Yep.
You've been walking for some time. You don't know how long, but it seems the skill to pay attention to details like seconds or minutes comes back around as slowly as walking itself has. I like that we're just in the background of the text box too. It's eerie.
Yeah.
The knowledge that your body aches and simmers sits somewhere in the back of the mind, placed out of sight. There's the smell of ash in the air. You can see it pour across the sky, thick as a canopy. You hobble across thin paths in dry grass that wilt in bunches around crumbling stone ruins, the buildings long since leveled into nothing. The world looks almost exactly like how you left it, just with less. You clutch a thin tunic and robe around you. For now, it's all you can bear to have touched the skin.
That is not what I expected him to look like.
There's the staff.
It kind of is, but he looks way friendlier.
Is that the emotion you have when you see this guy?
I mean, kinda. Like, no, he's not friendly.
You just like
he?
birds.
He's not friendly. I'm sorry, everyone. He's not friendly. Anyway, we should find a spot to rest soon. Your legs haven't stopped shaking since those stairs.
Bad place to stop.
Ah, so you're familiar with Foundation? I suppose that shouldn't be a surprise, considering this is where I found you. Yes, it's hardly safe here, but let's be honest, your body is held together by suture thread and hope at this point. I did a good job. We'll keep going for a while longer yet.
I was short on titanium rods.
And penises.
And bulldog harnesses. You keep walking. You don't know how long it's been. Soon, every pocket of old gray bricks starts to feel the same, and despite your professed caution, you simply can't be bothered to pay attention for what might be lurking amidst them. You see no sky above the carpet of ash, and yet light still seems to suffuse itself into every corner, as if the day itself has paled away. Ooh. Preceptor Faucin. Is this... So our left eye is missing, and the left side of the screen is the dialogue, which blocks our vision. Like his blindfold.
Oh,
and so
yeah?
I wonder if things that he's not actually seeing, but remembering or getting visions of, represent in his left eye. Behind the blindfold on the other side of the screen. That's why it looks like that.
Possibly. Also, when Ramla speaks, his text is a different color than when he thinks. And when he thinks, it's this color. So this is his internal monologue, remembering what this character said, I believe.
Oh, you mean that his name is the color of how he thinks?
Yeah.
I was like, the text is white. Maybe.
Yeah, I meant the name color. I think this matches his like internal monologue color.
Foundation is indeed a facet of their divinity, Confessor. I don't understand. Has your mother ever told you the story of it? How it came to be? I hope you are not prone to such idleness in your own adult years. Listen well. Foundation was built from the gods' very hands themselves. What? Really? Indeed. The gods built it with their own hands, stone by stone, to house the stonemasons and the carpenters, the miners and the weavers, the tanners and the artisans, all so the many who toil in their name felt sheltered by their hand. So why is it what? Falling apart. Confessor, it was built of their very own hands. It was in the essence of perfection of their order, their plan, and so is above needing revision. Ah, that's stupid.
Yeah.
It was built according to God's plan, therefore you're not allowed to repair it because we all know that materials built with God's plan on Earth are immune to nature's wear and tear.
I mean, have you ever seen a church?
Yeah.
None of them are damaged ever.
Uh-huh. No famous church catastrophes.
Yeah. Notre Dame has been completely undamaged for 1,000 years.
No matter how much that guy keeps trying.
I'll get you, Notre Dame. The Hunchback is like, not today. I didn't see that movie.
Sonic the Hedgehog, the Hunchback of Notre Dame.
The Defender of Notre Dame.
In what would be those adult years, you often remember what the preceptor had said. Even as the stones began to crumble into little more than dust, no one dared lift so much as a pebble. The knees pop as you stagger and clutch onto a wall for balance. The brick the palm connects with slides out of its position and cracks into 100 pieces on the ground. You heave a sigh. No one is around to see what would have been a crime. You feel a strange sense of grief, not for the people of Foundation, no, but for your fear of them. At some point, their despair started to look like yours. And then, they were gone. Thinking about it now, you never actually saw anyone doing something like carpentry, or weaving, or masonry in Foundation. Another one, Zayed.
It's not so bad.
Getting rained on isn't so bad.
Well, think of it this way. They built the houses, fashioned the bricks, made their own mantle, which touches their sky, which sends the rain. All of it is a part of their design. Rain is a beautiful thing. It nourishes, it refreshes, it grows. It can also sweep everything away. I can get a little wet if it means understanding their design.
But not even a tarp.
Huh. No, Rom, not even a tarp.
What if the tarp was part of their design too?
oh, heretic, you're gonna get straight to hell with that sort of thinking.
But
Then
after
it
we
would be there.
reinvent death. Oop, what happened there?
It's just the transition.
The jostle made it look
effect.
like dialogue popped in that got wiped out immediately.
Yeah, a little weird.
It wobbled. The eye feels glazed over every now and then. You have to remember to keep using it, but everything in front of you appears the same enough that you stop seeing the point in it. Zaid. Where is he now? You don't feel as though you deserve the answer to that question. Look at you. Heaving breaths and trying not to wind up face first in the dirt at the behest of a gloaming man. In what world is he expecting you to make it to the mantle? How many leagues could that even be? What an insane thing to do.
Eyes up, rotter. An old church, at least that's what I think it must be, is up ahead. Probably the first structure with walls that don't look like they'll fall on our heads.
You follow his line of sight onto the structure in the question. Its old, peaked facade certainly does suggest the idea of a church. Your eye slides from the nave roof down to its exposed arcades, circling old engravings and torches still flickering with the white flame. You're surprised to see them still lit. The eternal white flame has always needed fuel in your lifetime. Wait, they need fuel. We must leave now.
Sorry?
Because it means someone's here. We must leave right now. The hand grabs the gloaming man by his robe, tugging him around a corner just as a spear lodged itself in the soft earth where he stood. You hear him curse, and soon the two of you trudge slowly to the sea of rubble. You grit the teeth to ignore how his hand steadying the side makes pain lance through you sharper than a spear ever could. I am slowing you down. We must hide.
Nonsense. We'll see this through.
Do not be cocky.
Can you just trust me for a moment?
No. What? Without warning, the gloaming man abandons your side, slipping quickly into a cropping of stones. You stand alone and exposed. There's a familiar lurch in the stomach, the one caused by the fear of death, a treasonous voice loyal only to the body. You turn in place, the feet already wobbling with uncertainty beneath you. I'm probably fine.
Yeah, you gotta trust people who kill you.
He'll probably just put me back together again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The guy that tried to kill you earlier just walks by and he's like, "Oh, don't mind me. I'm just chopping that meat." Yeah, you wouldn't happen to have a spare penis among you, would you?
I did hear the news in town about a guy named Butcher Pete. And it's over. The end. Uninstall game.
Mm-hmm.
Close itch.io. Never check again. Nothing can
Sounds
contradict
good.
this reading. What is rest? You've asked yourself this question again and again. What is rest? Again and again and again, until the words no longer carry any meaning. What is rest? You hoped to find a kind of rest in between the sounds of the words, or at least in the sounds that you remember creating them. There is no sound here. Of course not. Nor are there ears, nor flesh of any kind. That, you think, is a rest, at the very least. There was nothing your flesh offered you that was worth what it took in return. But this certainty, this fervor against the sensations of a body, it could not last. Not forever. Not here. Of course not. There is no thought that lasts forever. But the thinking does. A mind awaits thoughts as uselessly as if the meat were still in the skull. What is rest? As much as you wish you could twist this all into something you thought maybe was once upon a time wanted. What is rest? Not this. You've known this for a long time. It's not this. I want to go home. You remember being held aloft by your mother as a child. Once upon a time, your mother was your world. You were in so much pain. There was nothing that whole entire world could do to say why. She rocked you, sang to you, wept with you. You said, I want to go home. I want to go home.
But you're already home, darling. See? We're here. We never left.
I want to go home, please.
Hush now.
You think about this often. The first reason? Because you tend to meditate on the nature of pain. How, in that moment, pain had the power to rob you of what is true. It could turn you into a beast. It could rob all sense. It could take away your home, despite the fact that she cradled you by the glow of the hearth. Eventually, it could make your mother see nothing in you she could recognize. The second reason is because you can't feel that pain any longer, and that brings you some sense of peace. This is truly a part of you that prefers its endless exhale over the mindless fury of whatever popped in your bones and singed under your skin. Pain can't take that away from you here. And then, by some ancient cruelty, the pain returns.
Welcome back to the land of the living, rotter.
That's interesting. I kind of thought that maybe at the beginning we were in some kind of body that actually wasn't ours, like it was some other thing. But instead it seems like the goat internalized the idea after living with chronic pain. He had to like internalize the idea that that his body and himself were separate entities in order to like cope and exist day to day.
Yep.
And then that very person's been brought back when he specifically preferred the void. You wake.
Again, I should say.
What?
I told you before, did I not? You will never know death of any sort until we reach the mantle.
I died again.
Try to keep up. We have been discussing this for a while, Ramla. Correction. You left life, but you did not die. Remember, death is still very much broken until we mend it.
The Elden Ring. You let me die.
I had no choice at the time.
You left me.
To do what I was capable of doing to defend us, I had to be standing in a different location, yes. We both performed our roles wonderfully. You should be proud you managed to respond to the situation quite well despite your circumstances.
You got stabbed up real good.
Ah, yes, you should have seen it.
I should have let the spear hit you.
Yeah, probably. It'd take more than that to put me out, Rotter. The world is a gloaming man's paradise, after all.
Really is a game about two angry old men.
Yeah. What, the game or the world?
Waka waka.
Death has never been easier to betray.
The presentation style is so fucking wild.
Yeah,
I just love when I see that something's entirely its own separate identity. This one looks like it has like oil painting brush strokes, but just the texture of it stolen from elsewhere and overlaid over the separate image to give it this like
and then we also have like the
dissonant
canvas and like
thing.
noise
Yeah.
effects and stuff like that.
And then there's the careful use of having a glow around the characters so they don't get lost in the chaos of the background.
Yeah.
Me, who's been having adding a drop shadow or a glow to every single layer in my thumbnails for 10 years now, just to salvage them from the outlines. Where are the attackers?
Oh. Fuck. Excuse me for a moment. Oh, they left life too. Don't worry.
How?
Here, I've started a fire. I'm thinking we try giving you some soup and see how it goes.
Made of?
Nothing. Made of stolen from dead guy soup. You have to try.
But I can't. I can't do it.
You can. You can, even though it hurts.
I'm sorry, Mama.
If you don't try, you'll live somewhere else, Ramla.
I don't want to go.
Then you have to try. Ramla. Please. This is not your fault, but this is your responsibility. That's a classic line. That is something I have heard and have said to myself many, many times to justify any sort of shitty medical situation that you have to deal with.
No.
I think I have literally said that to other people in the past, like, 6 months even.
Jeez.
Fun times. Just to try.
Your dreams becoming indistinguishable from mere recall, which become indistinguishable from death. The next day, when winds?
I think it's
I guess so.
wines.
Yeah, the next day
Yeah.
winds on much the same as the ones before it. You walk. You are reminded of your weakness again and again. You hide in muddy hovels, and occasionally
Oops.
you die. As close as one gets to it, anyway. The ones who remain in Foundation are dogged in their pursuit. The ones who hunt you now are not deterred even by the trail of banished souls left in your wake. You meditate on the violence of it. Hermeto acts as if the act is ultimately of little consequence, death being what it is. You'll always turn back around to the same thing. This is why we go to the mantle, Ramla. You know that's why it's not, you know it's a thought and not a real quote because he didn't say Rotter. Ow. It doesn't make the banishing any better, you think. You still don't even know how they're dying. It always happens when you're out, Maybe stabbing him just like does a corpse explosion. Just takes him out on the spot.
The music is very Diablo 2, and Corpse Explosion is a spell in Diablo 2.
Yeah. You have nothing to fear anymore, Ramla. Least of all the pain. Preceptor. Yes, Confessor? You said Goddess Driga would save me. I did. So why do I still feel the pain? Isn't she supposed to save me from that? Ah, you misunderstood the lesson, Confessor. Allow me to elucidate. There is a spark in you that is nothing short of miraculous. Goddess Driga speaks through a pain such as yours. The frailty you feel, the loss of breath, the inner tightness, that is her voice, the kind that draws louder the nearer you draw to her. And the fire that you describe, that is her voice too, her warmth. Why does she speak through pain? Who would want to listen to that? That is why we have those like you, Ramla. That is exactly what saves you. I don't get it. You are saved because you hurt for a reason. There is nothing senseless about it. Fatality.
We really ought to stop meeting like this.
The body sputters breaths back into the lungs. Hands slowly drag the torso up. Fuck you.
Two men being grumpy at each other is like,
Yeah.
Like, I consider myself the Kim Kitsuragi of this story.
anyway.
Fuck you.
It is so hard. Is it so hard to lighten up a little?
I'm tired.
Well, you've earned a good sleep. I must say, you're waking up faster each time.
Huh.
Not to mention your temper. I much prefer it over the brooding silence. Makes you sound a little more alive. What? Not sleepy after all? Because you're staring daggers at me still? Or singular dagger, as it were.
I'll put your eye out with that staff. If you have another one.
Why, yes, I happen to have plenty over here. What? Too much? All right. Come on, out with it. What's on your mind?
You promised me secrets. So far, I've heard nothing.
That I did. True, I've been quite focused on our journey, and I will say that it is mostly that Foundation does not possess much of what I'd like to show you. This does not mean I have nothing to share, of course. I'm your open book, Ramla.
That is multiple
All three
good
of these are
questions. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been wondering how they've been dying.
I'm kind of most interested in 2, but I'm not too sure if that's the most interesting question to ask, if that makes sense.
I'm mixed.
Yeah.
But we both thought of 2.
All right.
How have you been killing our pursuers?
I'm a gloaming man, Ramla. Are you sure you want to know the answer? Simply knowing the machinations of my craft is enough for persecution, as I'm sure you're aware.
I'm trying to die forever.
Well,
I want to know.
Do you now? Interesting. Is it because you no longer care for the risk, or is it because you don't trust me? No need to answer that. Just something I was thinking about. To answer your question, what have you noticed about each of our encounters so far?
How can I notice anything? I always die.
Oh. Once again, you do not die, but you're actually exactly on the mark with your response. It is precisely that you become banished from life. That's how we censor ourselves on TikTok. We unalive ourselves and we vanish from life.
You got
I will now call
unalived via
attention.
sewer slide.
I will now call to attention again to the fact that I am a gloaming man.
You use me?
I do. Yes. But perhaps not in the way you might think.
2-hand strength bonus. 3d6.
I gave you those dice for a reason. Before you rush for the pitchfork, I do not and cannot puppet your body. It stays wherever you leave it until I can put you back together. Honestly, I have no idea where that idea even came from among the common folk. The real part I am using is, in fact, your mark. The rot. It reacts quite violently when its host is pushed against the world of death. You're right, it is corpse explosion.
Yeah, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
He lets out a whole like Egyptian plague whenever he dies, and everyone nearby dies. And Hermeto's trick is just running for it.